Hi, this is Gary with MacMost Now. On today's episode, let me show you how to crop and cut out images using Pixelmator. So Pixelmator is becoming a very popular app for editing images because it doesn't have the huge price tag of Photoshop. It's easily available in the Mac App Store and it's pretty easy to use. Let me show you how you can use it to crop and cut out images. So here I am in Pixelmator and I have a document here that I've saved to the desktop. I'm going to just open that up. It's just a JPEG. And now I've got all my Pixelmator tools here on the left and various other windows that I won't use right now. So here's an image and I just want to simply just create a crop. So to crop an image you can either use the selection tool or the crop tool. The crop tool makes it very easy because you just simply drag across the area you want and then you can adjust dragging any of the corners or the top and the bottom, sides, and you can hit crop and then there you go. Everything outside of the area has been removed. If the crop isn't perfect you can simply choose edit undo or Command Z. I also like that in Pixelmator you can use a selection tool, make a selection, and then decide that you want to crop it. You can control click or right click on it and simply choose crop there and it switches to the crop tool with the selection that you've already made. Now you can use any of the selection tools here to start an area that you can cut out. So you can use the Lasso tool or the straight line lasso tool, which I like, and try to create an area. So like for instance if I just want to cut out my head I can use the straight line lasso tool to quickly define the area. I'm not going to try to do it perfect here, but you would take your time and use one of these two tools to define an area. And then I finish the selection. Now I can hit delete and you can see it removes that selection, which is probably not what I want to do. Instead, probably what I want to do is go to edit and invert the selection. And now it's selected everything except that area, so when I delete, hit the delete key, it cuts everything out. Now I could do a little better than that by actually going to the edit and refine selection tool, which combines a bunch of different things that you have to learn in other image editing programs, but here you learn them all. You put them all in one spot, so I can make it smoother, I can feather the area. It helps here of course if I would undo and go back to just having this as the selection. So let me do that. So now I just have my head as a selection and now I can feather the area around it to kind of blur it. I can also change the size, which is a really nice thing. So I can bring it in a little tighter, add a little bit of a feathering to it, smooth out the edges a bit, hit OK, and then I can go to invert selection, delete the remaining area, and now it's a softer area cut out around my head there. Now once you've done something like that, usually one of the things you want to do is trim the canvas down, so you can trim it down to just the transparent, get rid of the transparent pixels as close as possible, while of course still maintaining a rectangular shape that images must have. Now undoing all the way back to the main image there, let's crop it again. So say maybe I was making a Facebook or Twitter profile picture there. So I wanted a nice crop like that, and now it's time to export it. So I go to File, Export, and from here I can decide what format. JPEG is probably what I want, and I can actually set the quality down a little bit to create a smaller size. What I may in fact want to do is actually change the image size first. So right now it's 700 pixels wide approximately. So maybe if I wanted to reduce this to about half or a little less than half, I can do a width of 300 rather than 700. So this will shrink the image down, and then I can go to export, and then I can see under export, there we go, I can then adjust the size, and say if I wanted to get it under 30K I could, and I go next and it's going to ask me to save the file. And now I've saved another copy of it. If I look at it in preview I can see there's the image for 30K. It looks pretty good. So there are some of the basics of selecting, cropping, and exporting using Pixelmator. Let me know if you like this tutorial and you want to see more tutorials using Pixelmator. Until next time, this is Gary with MacMost Now. Want more video tutorials? Just go to MacMost.com, click on the videos link at the top of the page, and then you can view all of the hundreds of MacMost videos by category.